with Jack 8.
Jack 5 deuce, couple of spades, a jack for both of them. Weinman best with the king.
Certainly a cooler and heads-up play to both flop top pair. You can easily see 3 streets going in when you have top pair.
Weinman giving Jones some rope. Steven puts in $6 million.
Is going to be aware of the fact that Jones, who has been limping in for the most part, now raised on the button. So that could be an indication to Weinman about the strength of his hand.
Raise, 18.5.
There's the check raise from Weinman. The total bet, $18.5 million now.
And if Weinman is giving Jones credit for a strong hand pre-flop, when he opens the button, then this is a nice check raise here to just go ahead and fast play. Also, there's going to be, you know, a lot of draws that potentially Weinman is check raising with here. You know, some of those straight combinations, some flush combinations. Don't want a bad card to come off on the turn and kill his action.
Jones, of course, coming along with his Jack 8. Turn card now.
Pretty interesting card on the turn, because if we talk about the potential part of Weinman's range consisting of some of these gut shots on the flop, you know, maybe a 6-4 or, you know, an open under like 4-3, then now those hands have a pair and a straight draw and would likely continue to keep up the aggression. And of course, Weinman's actual hand being top pair with the second best kicker, going to be ahead of a lot of Jones's continue.
What is it? 38 million?
And for the ace X's, that could potentially be in Jones's range as well, that now have a gut shot, ace high, pursuing value. And from Jones's actual hand, it's got to look pretty good against some of those other combinations, some of those semi-bluffs that I talked about Weinman having.
As Alex Foxen mentioned, for a rec player, Stephen Jones with good reading ability, good instincts. Hard to get away from this, though.
Yeah, what would he put Weinman on?
Still enough draws, you know, flush draws, pair and straight draws that Jones is beating. Be pretty hard to fold top pair on this particular street. I think a lot of times you will see players call and decide on rivers, but this pot getting very big.
There's 600 million chips on the table between them. If Stephen Jones calls here, 20% of them will be in the middle.
Jack high board, both players with a jack in the hole, and Jones with a monster decision here.
Jones knows that there's going to be a lot of bad rivers for his hand. He's worried about investing more chips in this pot and maybe not knowing what to do on certain rivers.
And this call also would represent more than a quarter of Stephen Jones' remaining stack. This has been his longest tank of the heads-up match.
Worth taking the time. This is the most significant pot we've seen in heads-up play so far. This also goes to show what happens, when we have an open raise pre-flop and a call, is these pots get bloated, which is why earlier we saw Jones taking a limping strategy almost 100% of the time on the button, trying to keep the pot small, maybe felt like that wasn't working, chose to raise pre-flop on this hand, and now we've got almost 100 million chip pot.
Daniel Weinman not giving anything away.
This reminds me, I went to the car wash about 2 months ago, and they asked me whether for another $15 I wanted the inside of the car vacuumed, and I was paralyzed. I tanked on it for a while.
Yeah.
They told me sooner or later, you got to make a decision. I saved the money.
Can Jones save chips here? What is his read
All in.
on Daniel Weinman? It's weakness.
Oh my gosh.
How much he wants to know. Wow.
Just trying to shut out
Feels good to fade the snap, though.
any equity from some of those hands I spoke about, some of those flush draws, some of those pair and straight draws. You can understand why Weinman is taking time to think.
Not unlike John Sims
There we
years
go.
ago, who only had to call to win the main event. Weinman now just needs a faded 8 to win the main event.
Just got to dodge an 8. He's got a lot of
Jones went for the gold right there.
Then you usually do not expect the all-in after that long of a thought process.
You're fine.
Can the best hand hold here?
One card to come. One card between Daniel Weinman and a world championship. Steve Jones, as you see his outs, upper left, he needs an 8. Or Weinman is your winner. It has come down so quickly. The river card, the ace of hearts, and that will do it.
Wow.
He has tasted victory elsewhere, but never on this scale. Daniel Weinman, now the 2023 main event champion.
Different kind of showers for Dan, showered in beer. What a victory celebration for him and his